The eel wānanga for me is, well, for me it's to show the next generation how to catch eel.
Earliest memory for eeling is when I was 5 with my dad up at Ruapaka. He loved eel, and so off we went down the back, spear, yep, bit of meat, got them close to the bank, whack!
The first eeling wānanga I went on, I would have been 13. We went to Lake Rotoiti and set up hinaki nets around the lake. Our family, well, the Walkers, we use a thing called a rippy. A rippy, essentially, is a metal bar with like tape wrapped around the bottom for a handlebar. It's the most ruthless but most efficient way of catching them. You smack them on the head, which stuns them, and while they're stunned, you grab them and put them in the bag.
Why is it important for Ngāti Apa to continue harvesting from the lakes?
It's important for Ngāti Apa ki te Rā Tō because it reconnects us with a practice that our tupuna have always done, and you know, you go up there and it is a beautiful place, and you can enjoy the beauty and the tranquility of the lake. For us too, our connection to the lake is also through the practice of harvesting the tuna, but also conserving them as well. So it's not just for us. It means much more than a place where you go and experience the beauty. The lake, it was the area, what we call Sinhana now, but the Mangatawhai, that was a hub, a terminus, where you could travel from Waido or Whakatū up to there, and then our ancestors would follow mountain trails and paths and down the Kawatiri River to reach all those other places where our people used to go and settle and harvest. It was also a place where our people sought refuge following the invasion of Ngati Toa and their allies. So our people, left some of these places and went up there, and they lived there for a number of years. So it's always been a place that we've known about and gone to.
I went along with just my moko, and I asked my mokos if they wanted to come and learn how to eel. I just thought it was a good experience for them because they'd never seen me go eeling. They wouldn't know how to do it or anything. So they were real keen to go.
Kia ora, ko Sarah Mason toku ingoa. This is Edie and Julia. Or do you understand everything?
And I think when kids see eels, their immediate reaction is ugh. And so they kind of get put off, whereas their parents and grandparents, it was a normal way of life.
Yeah. It was all about kui kai, wasn't it?
And there's some places in here where we've left deliberately blank for you to fill in and you to add to. You're welcome to write down the karakia and things. and there's some pages at the back.
This karakia is very much, it's a living karakia. You can add to it, and it goes like this. Tēnei te karanga ki o uri, tēnei te karanga ki o uri e maru. Nau ko te awa, nau ko te wai Māori, nau ko te tuna. Nau ko te oranga o te tinana, tau mai rā, tau mai rā. Tau mai rā ki taku whare karanga, tūturu whakamaua kia tīna, tīna. Haumi e hui e, tai ki e. He pātai? No questions? Come and take a photo of it, jump into a group of 3, into your 3 groups, and then we'll have about 10 minutes to go away, come back, and then we'll all do it. Ka pai? Nau ko te oranga. O te tinana. Tau mai rā. Tau mai rā. Nau ko te tuna. Nau ko te oranga o te tinana. Tau mai rā. Tau mai rā. Tau mai rā. Tau mai rā. Are there any questions around any bits of it, any specific bits of it? Pretty straightforward, eh?
What is mahinga kai? Can you explain that for me?
Mahinga kai. It's a food basket where we can go and practice customs and tikanga, relate stories associated with that particular food source.
What are some of the highlights from that weekend for you?
For me, it was seeing new families getting involved in kaupapa that Ngati Apa is running, so that was nice to see new people there. I thought going out the first night and harvesting was pretty neat, seeing all of those tamariki and mokopuna having a really, really good time. They were excited for them to be with their parents while those things are taking place too.
Look at that, goodness.
What is it?
Wahua.
I suppose for my generation, we're the children of urban migrants. So our parents lived in little wee towns and settlements away from Blenheim.
Where is it? Just so. You'll be able to go in. So you see it? Right in the middle?
Growing up in Blenheim, we always looked for water. We always looked for creeks. That's something that we've always been drawn to. And so for these kids, and I don't know whether they get to do it where they live, I think for many of them it was their first ever time out harvesting, so that was really cool.
Anything down there, mate?
No, bro. There's a bit rapid water.
My first experience with a rippy, I just remember holding it, just whack it, whack it. My grandfather just like screaming in my ear, and I was just like,
Here.
essentially what you do with that tool, well, it's a blunt weapon, so you smack them on the head, which stuns them, and while they're stunned, you grab them and put them in the bag. That's how you use the rippy.
How many we got? 3.
My role at that wānanga was to demonstrate skills that I learned from my grandfather and to show that to the next generation of Ngāti Apa.
Whoa! Why are you guys coming?
Hold your spear down. Don't bring your spear out. Not there.
The spear was bent.
Have you had a go at spearing eels before?
Nah.
First time?
Yeah.
We've got to make sure you get one by the end of the night, eh?
Yeah.
Kapai.
Hold it! Let's put it in the bucket, eh?
Just watch how far I call with the camera.
These days when people eat, it comes on the table, and they don't actually see
Where it's come from.
where it's come from. Harry and Lee prepared the eel, so there was a process of de-sliming, and then there was a process of hanging the eels up.
So the way we usually process them, we get them, harvest them, keep them cool in the morning, get them hung up, de-slimed, and you make sure you got to bleed them. It's like any other animal, you still got to bleed them, so you do that. We're going to smoke them, we'll butterfly the backbone out, and then salt them, pepper them, and the salting's to pull out the moisture, the pepper's to keep the flies away. White and black pepper. Hang them up just with a bit of breeze so they can dry out. The more you can dry them, the better they are for smoking. And if you want to just fry them up, just clean them up, cut them into steaks, and then just chuck them in the pan.
My grandfather would go out and some would have skin on, or he would cut the backbone out, and we'd fry that up and eat that. And then we'd give it to another uncle who used to smoke it. So yeah, we used to eat it like that. Eel was always in our house.
I really like them smoked. It's a nice way to have them. Yeah.
Mum told me that Granddad used to boil them, and Mum had never had them boiled because where she was from, they smoked them or cooked them in 2 inches of fat.
Why do you think it is that our whānau eel less now?
I think a lot of it's got to do with the fact we live in a town now, whereas in our parents and grandparent times they lived out the pa, or they lived out at Canvastown, or my mother down in Kaikoura, and it was just easier to get to mahinga kai.
Our goal was to go and harvest tuna, and our goal was to get a permit to do it in the lake, and we were denied that. We're not there to go and to rape and pillage. We're just there to maintain our status as mana whenua and to maintain those practices of harvesting tuna. But for the kids to know, where that kai is coming from, how we get that kai. A lot of kids just see the finished product on the plate, but for that specific wānanga, they've seen the planning, they've seen us having a corridor, how we're going to go and do it, where we're going to go do it, a few safety measures in place. Off we went, the kids were all part of it. They've seen every single part of that process till it turned up on that plate at the hakari. And that's what these kids want. Yep.